Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another cheeky Love Island review and our final review of the week. And guys, what an episode. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing, but what do you mean Harrison left? What do you mean Lauren was begging? There's a lot for us to discuss today, guys. There's so much to discuss. So, as I usually am always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. We love having you here. And we also love a cheeky little chinwag. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, please get cozy, comfy, hot Rabina, cold Rabina, cheeky little fan, some water, some snacks. And let's get into today's review. Also, guys, I got my eyebrows threaded and tinted today. Why did no one tell me that tinting your eyebrows was a game changer? Wow, 10 across the board, TT. But cool. Let's start off with the aftermath of the game that you guys know they were playing yesterday. So the next question was, which couple gives the biggest ick? And the villa instantly voted for Harrison and Helena, Meg and Dejon, and Harry and Helena, sorry, Meg and Dejon, and Harrison and Tony. And the votes were in. In first place, we had Tony and Harrison. Second place, we had Helena and Harry. Third place, we had Meg and Dejon. Now, some of the comments that they made after were quite interesting. Harrison said that he thinks that they were up there, of course, because of the actions that he has been displaying throughout the past couple of episodes. Harrison, you wait there, because, yeah, singlets will be torn. Guys, what did I say in yesterday's review, by the way? We throw people in the bin with their singlets torn. Yeah. Let's do that, okay? Let's definitely do that. Of course, Helen and Harry was saying, oh, he feels like it's because of his Speedos. That isn't the reason why you give people the ick, by the way. Ain't nobody checking for you and your Speedos. And last but not least, Meg and Dejon said that they have no idea. Meg was like, oh, I wonder what's icky about us. Everything. Okay, everything. Now the next question was not next question, sorry, they ended up getting a text that the game wasn't over, but of course that Angel was going to come into the villa, aka the new bombshell, and they had to decide the three guys who were going to go up in terms of her ranking, right? So they decided for Ty, Cash and Boris, because those three guys don't really have any solid connections in the villa. Bish bash bosh, we ended up meeting Angel. Now Angel is 22, she is from Maidstone, so I'm not going to hold you, this is from my ends. I'm not from Maidstone, but I'm close to Maidstone, so I said, okay, a little Kent babe, love that for you babes. But she ended up placing Connor as her third choice, Harry as her second, and her first choice was Ty. I don't really, Angel, I think she's a really pretty babe, by the way, definitely. Her nash was out, I didn't understand why her bum was out. I feel like the outfit wasn't necessary. I don't know if it was just me, but the nash was out. Like, girl, it's nighttime. Okay? But of course, they ended up getting a text that because Ty was Angel's first choice, and Lauren obviously was with Ty, that she will be dumped from the villa. Guys, I'm not trying to be funny. I shouldn't be laughing. But that was shocking. Like, the producers really said plot twist though. Like, I literally said, wow, so brutal. Just like that. Just like that. Instantly, Lauren started crying. Like, absolutely crying. And then what did she start to do? The begging started. And guys, if you watch my reviews long enough, okay, if you watch my reviews and you've been in our lives, guys, we talk about this in nearly every single episode. You guys know how I feel about begging for a man. Don't do that. Do not beg for a man in this lifetime or the next. Do not beg for a man in this lifetime or the next. On top of that, you are begging for Harrison. I'm still trying to, you know, process. I'm still trying to process my thoughts with that one, if I'm going to be honest with you. Guys, she was literally, she told him, please, can you leave with me? Guys, when she said that, I just wanted to do this to my neck. What do you mean, please, can you leave with me? You are 26. This is a 22-year-old boy. Even after all of the disrespect, my man literally went to Tony on the terrace when he found out there was going to be a recoupling that the girls would choose and told her, I just want to let you know that I still want to be with you. I don't care if he's been showing you certain levels of confusion. You do not allow that confusion to transport to you. I'm sorry, guys. Lauren, singlets have to be torn for that. Crying over Harrison is crazy. And then constantly begging, please just leave with me. Every time Harrison said, I'll think about it, she'll put her hands in her arm. What? Hands in her face, sorry. What was that? I'm sorry, no. I have to rip her single for that. And you guys know me. I support women's rights and wrongs, but I don't support women's stupidity. I do not support women's stupidity. And Lauren, today, okay, and it goes back to everything that I've said regarding the whole situation. From her being with him, to her sleeping with him, to conversations that are being had, everything goes back to what I said. it has all been a choice, and unfortunately your choices have been very, very, very poor. And today's exit from Lauren, for me, guys, very disappointing. I'm sorry. Let me know down below if you agree, disagree. Very, very, very disappointing. Of course, Meg and Helena are now saying, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to recruit again. Anybody want to be part of this trio? You guys already lost 2 people. Why do you still want to continue recruit? Can't you see that there's a pattern? Every single person in that trio that isn't you gets dumped. You people are so selfish like this. Okay. Of course, Lauren now ended up speaking to Harrison again. Actually, no, prior to that, I'm gonna go. Prior to that, Harrison was obviously in a bubble, and then Helena came up to him and she was just like, Harrison, like, if you're gonna really stand on business, then you need to do what you need to do. You don't even stand on business. And my thing is, that whole foursome, I'm not calling them awesome foursome because no, that whole foursome have constantly wanted Harrison to go for Lauren. I don't know if it's because they all thought they were going to become first, second and third place. I'm not sure. But they've never liked Tony anyway, regardless, right? So it's very interesting that they all kept giving side comments. Like even Meg was just like, you need to do what you need to do. You need to go and get your girl. You need to go. Guys, I don't even have anything else to say about that. I'm sorry. I don't have anything to say. But Lauren ended up leaving. Again, just before she left, she had a brief chat with Harrison, like, is this really what you want? Harrison was saying crazy stuff like, oh my gosh, like, would you wait for me? And then Harrison was also talking to other guys saying, oh, I really see a future of her long term on the outside, but I just need a night to think about it, because he wanted to obviously leave, but they were just like, listen, you need to sleep on this information. Don't just make any rash decisions just like that. I don't really have much to say. Like, even I'll promise you'll wait for me. No, I'm not speaking on it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm actually not speaking on it anymore. Of course, next moving on to Harrison now talking to Harry about the whole Shakira situation. He was talking to Harry, talking to Dejon, and Connor as well. And they were speaking of the comments that Harrison made in the game where he said, obviously, Shakira's told me that she still likes Harry. I've already said what I said in yesterday's review, which I think still stands. If Shakira is supposed to be your best friend, that is not the time, place, or opportunity for you to be able to speak about things that she's spoken to you in private about. Second of all, you guys are doing it like bants, okay? This is banter for you guys for whatever reason. Third of all, Connor was sitting there digesting all the information and they said, oh, I'm gonna go pull her for a chat. Why are you allowing these 3 guys to get into your heads? Someone needs to answer that question for me. You don't know those guys. You don't know those guys from nowhere, by the way. You met 4 weeks ago. Okay, hoo-ha, you guys have been in the villa 24/7. But those guys don't have your best interest at heart. And even if they did or they didn't, why are you allowing every single thing that they say affect your relationship or situation that you have with Shakira? Things are good, and then all of a sudden they speak to you, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna go put her for a chat. What do you think, Harry? Do you think you can still get Shakira? And even Harry's opening mouth saying, yeah, I definitely think I can. No, you can't. Why have you allowed your delusions to actually take? Oh gosh. Why have you allowed your delusions to take over the common sense that, even the common sense that I don't even know if you have, but even Harry saying it so confidently, yeah, I could definitely get Shakira back. No, you couldn't. And who told you that you could? I don't understand, guys. So, of course, Connor and I ended up pulling Shakira for a chat. And Shakira was just like, why would you listen to them? I've been truthful to you since this season or the situation that we had started. Connor's just like, yeah, but they're saying, and she just said, yeah, but why are you allowing them to get into your head? Like, I don't understand why you would go against what I've been telling you based on things that they have. It's not making sense. Connor's just sitting there, oh, so what, I'm not going to be able to talk. No, you can't, because right now, the conversation that we're having is very useless. It's repetitive and it's very boring. And my thing as well is, I've already said this in other reviews and I'll say it again. Every time Connor is confronted with the truth, and to be honest, it's not just Connor, it's actually the majority of the guys. If anything, the majority of the guys are excluding the Casa guys, because Cash and Ty seem to be the only level-headed people in that villa, right? Every single time all the other guys are called out on something, or they instantly get triggered because they hate women that are outspoken. Let's start there. They hate being told the truth, and they also hate being confronted. Those are the 3 truths regarding those other guys in that villa, excluding Cash and Ty. Because I don't seem to understand why Shakira will be telling you this and you're just like, what, so I should I stop speaking to them? No one says stop speaking to them, but you could at least apply common sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and someone needs to make it make sense for me in the comments. Obviously, because you guys know after that as well, Shakira and I ended up crying to Tony and Yaz, saying that everyone is so fake in this villa. I really hated seeing Shakira cry, because I've said it in my other reviews as well, and I'll say it again. There seems to be a reoccurring pattern and theme when it comes to the girls and the guys in that villa always getting onto Shakira. I don't know why they're also triggered by her, threatened by her. It's really strange, and it's low-key embarrassing, because nothing, even Shakira was saying it as well, like, I'm just trying to be happy in my couple, and yet people are still trying to find ways to interfere with that. and if it's not the girls, it's the guys. So what exactly is the problem? So I didn't really understand that, and I feel like Shakira's tears were. Obviously I'm not in that villa. When we're not in that villa, we just review the show. But when someone cries like that, it's because they've reached their breaking point. And yes, we have been seeing some things as the episodes have been going on, but I feel like today pretty much was evidence that we needed to say that there's a lot that probably still goes on behind the scenes. And the truth is as well, I don't feel like the villa are truthful anyway. I feel like a lot of them are fake. That's just what it is. I feel like a lot of the girls are fake. I feel like a lot of the guys are fake. It's just not a truthful villa. Do you know what I mean? So it was really sad seeing Shakira cry. Even as that was taking place, Connor now came upstairs and was like, oh, can I talk to her? And they were just like, please, like, no. And then she said, please, just respect my boundaries. And yeah, please, because you literally came to me with information from somebody else, acting like that information was stronger than the information that I give you, and you're supposed to back me. That's absolutely insane. Like, I'm sorry, Connor. Big fat L for that, man. Big fat L. At night time, a few conversations. By the way, guys, tonight's review is going to be a bit long because it actually was quite a long episode. And I have words. Yeah, I have words. Night time, Harry was saying that he's interested in Angel. And Billy Keith said, shouldn't you be focusing on your front? Like, basically. And he said, oh, yeah, I can handle 2 women at once. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. But I'm going to get into Harry later. Harrison was looking at pictures of Lauren on his phone. You need to pack your bag and leave that villa, bro. Because I don't know what you're doing. And Angel and Ty kissing in bed like they've known each other for the past 4 weeks. Or 5, shall I say. Cool. Following morning, they asked everyone how they felt about the game last night, and Emma literally said, yeah, I feel like all of the answers were correct. And they were like, oh, Emma, so brutal. And then even when Emma was speaking to, yeah, she was just like, I just feel like a lot of them are just thick. Like, did she say thick? Yeah. She said, I feel like they're all thick, like she can't stand their faces. And you know what the truth is? I feel like Emma, Shakira and Yaz are actually a bit too mature for this villa. I think a lot of them are very, very, very childish. And on top of them being very childish, it's not really adding up because, for example, Emma is only 30, but Helena's 29. Okay, Harry is 30. Okay, like, you guys aren't babies. So I feel like Emma is just kind of annoyed with the caliber of minds that she has to mix with every single day. Next, moving on to Harrison now speaking to Harry and Dejon about how he wanted to leave initially, but he's slept on it, blah, blah, blah. We already knew that Harrison was leaving the villa because the tabloids came out of it anyway. But I just kind of feel like even as Harrison was speaking, I was just thinking that, honestly, there's no need for you to stay. That is literally no need for you to stay, like, at all. And I don't think he needs a girlfriend. I don't think he needs Lauren. I think he needs healing and he needs time alone, because he proved to us that he proved to us, and I said this already, I don't want it to come across like I feel like 22-year-olds can't be mature, because 22-year-old females can be mature, but a lot of the time it takes men a longer time to be able to gather sense. And I feel like Harrison proved to us, he proved his age, and I just find it so icky. And that's why I said that I don't think he needs a girlfriend or he needs Lauren. I think he needs to heal and he needs to stay solo and single for a while. Of course, Harry was talking about, oh, of course he's going to have a look when it comes to Angel, but he's going to respectfully flirt, he's going to respectfully kiss, he's going to da-da-da-da-da. I have nothing else to say about that man other than the fact that he is 30 years old and he acts like everything is a game. And I think in the first couple episodes it was funny to review it, like, oh my gosh, this guy's a menace, like, this guy's crazy, this guy's insane. But now it's like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. Like, what do you hope to gain out of this by just playing with different girls, knowing that you're still going to go back to your Helena because she's always still going to take you back? I don't find Harry's storylines interesting anymore. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's quite repetitive and it's quite boring, and it's also quite embarrassing to be doing this and you're literally the oldest in that villa. It's not setting a great example for the young ones, love. It really isn't. Ty and Angel, aka Angelique, we found out that was her name. They had breakfast together. I have no notes. They look good together, but I just don't, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Cool. Next, moving on to Tony, now speaking to Harry and Dejon and Harrison about them creating a narrative against Shakira. I'm so glad she went to go and speak to him about that, because even as she was talking to them, Dejon was laughing like, oh, like, obviously it's just a joke. And she was like, it's not a joke. Like, she was really upset. And then I think Harrison was just like, oh yeah, but it's the truth though. But you're supposed to be her bestie in the villa, so why are you snitching on her to guys for laughs? That's not... I always tell you guys I couldn't be in this villa, because the second I see stupidity, I'm calling it out. And if you don't like me, you guys should send me home. Okay, you can send me home on the next flight. Because even Dejon after that, I was just like, oh, I just feel like you're just here to cause a scene. Like, it's just supposed to be for fun. It's supposed to be... No. And once again, it goes back to what I said. These guys hate being called out. They hate being told the truth. And I'm glad Tony went there and went to go and whack them, because what you did wasn't cool. It wasn't the vibe that you thought it was. So you need to fix that. Of course, next moving on to Shakira, talking to Connor about the night before. And he said, obviously, you know, he's really uncomfortable with everything. But at the same time, he's really sorry. Long story short, they ended up hugging it out. I think Shakira has a really good chance of winning Love Island if she's not coupled up with Connor. I think people like Shakira as a separate entity to that man. And I just feel like Connor, I don't know, I can't read that guy. I think he's very interesting. He has dated so many different people in that villa, and you know, the girls that he's dated have been relatively normal. Do you know what I mean? So clearly, yeah, there does seem to be something that is sticking out like a sore. And it is you. Okay, so if the girls aren't the issue, then clearly it must be the man. Something is interesting about that guy. That's what I'm going to say for now. Now, let us move on to Angel now talking to Harry for a chat. I don't really have much to say other than the fact that he started saying he's an areola man and this and that. Maybe it's just me, but I personally hate when men lead with sexualizing women, and also when they have sexual conversations. I mean, it's just not the vibe that you think it is. But as a woman, if you entertain it, then they're going to keep going with it. People can say it's harmless flirting and banter or whatever, but I just feel like, you know, she was asking about your type, as in she literally said your hair type, eye type, all these different things, and then you're saying, oh yeah, I'm an areolas man. I don't really understand that one. But obviously, whilst we were having a conversation, Helena was just like, are they having a chat over there? I'm not having it. Is this any boundary that I need to put in place? What's going on over there? Are they smiling? Are they this? Are they that? Surely you must be tired of this same storyline happening with different girls every single episode, right? Or wrong? I don't understand why she continues to allow herself to be treated like this. I know we are 5 weeks in, we're almost at week 6 and there's 2 weeks to go, but generally speaking, I think I would have rated her more if she actually stood on business and actually stood up for herself. The fact she doesn't do it episode after episode after episode, me too, I'm bored. Now, next moving on to, oh yeah, cool, Harry and Helena. They had a conversation after that chat, and even when they had that conversation after that chat, he was like, what, so I can't flirt with her? And she was like, it's not about flirting with her, it's just the extent of the flirt. I'm generally going to stop covering Harry and Helena scenes, because that guy is going to continue to walk all over you. And Harry is a liar, an actress, a get out the fuck girls. He's actually a liar. He was now telling her, like, I literally, like, what, do you want to be exclusive? Like, listen, I told her that I'm for you. Like, I'm not for anyone else. But you didn't, though. You told her that you were open. You told her that you were single. You told her that you liked areolas. So very interesting that he's lying in 4K when we can literally see him and his mullet lying in 4K every night as well. But I just don't have anything to say, because even Helen at the end was just like, oh, I feel like this is going to be our first big test in here. Do you know how many exams you've sat with this man and you failed? Do you know how many tests you have failed and you think this is the test? Good luck. Okay, good luck. Next, moving on to Emma. She asked Harry to go on the terrace and he said, nah, let's chat right here. She pretty much said that she feels like the game was quite revealing to show how shallow he is, and also the fact that he allowed people to laugh at her and different things like that. I feel like Emma has just kind of reached her breaking point in this villa. I think she's too smart for this villa. That's just the honest truth. I think she's too smart for the villa. And unfortunately, these guys all share one brain cell. So it's quite interesting to even know that she dated Harry for so long, because that guy is absolutely insane. But Emma's definitely over it in that villa. She doesn't even smile. Okay, Emma doesn't smile when she's in that villa. Of course, at night time, briefly, Meg ended up telling Dijon that she doesn't feel like he spends a lot of time with her, and he said, I can't give you my undivided attention 24/7. That's quite interesting considering you're all in the villa, but I don't even want to dissect that any further. You guys already know how I feel about Meg and Dijon, so that is that. Next, moving on to Yaz talking to Jamie. And wow, guys, you guys already know I really like Yaz as a person anyway. And she is my winner. Yeah, she is. But she was talking to Jamie, and she was just like, listen, I feel like Cash and Tony should kind of give it another shot. You know, like, I feel like there's a lot of pride between them, and I just want to see if they're open to having a conversation together. And we love that. A friend who looks out for her sister, period. So, of course, she ended up organising the meet up on the terrace, but before that she did have a chat with Tony, and she was just like to Tony, like, listen, we know how you're feeling, you know, you've gone through and experienced so much in this villa. Instantly Tony started crying, and she said, listen, we kind of have a plan with you and Cash. You know what, I'll even come up to the terrace with you so it doesn't look too obvious. And that was really cute. Of course, took her to the terrace. While she came down, saw Cash, took Cash up as well. They had a brief conversation in which Tony pretty much just ended up apologizing for treating him so badly. Guys, I just really like Cash. I think he's such a gentleman. I think he just seems like a really nice and genuine guy. But she was saying she feels like she's messed up and she's so stupid. And Cash pretty much gave her a hug. And I was smiling, guys. I'm not going to hold you. I was just like, oh, Tony is back on my client list, guys. yeah, she's back on my client list. I know we chucked her in the bin the other day, but I'm going to pick her out and give her a little shine, you know. I just felt like it was quite a nice thing for Yaz and Jamie to do, and it goes to show that Yaz actually cares about her friend's well-being in the villa as well, and I think that is really evident and very beautiful that she was able to organise that between her and Cash. And it seems like Tony and Cash are back on, and you know what? I'm here for it. Now let's move on to Angel pulling Harry for a chat again at night time. Do I really want to speak about that? I'm not going to speak about it because it's the same conversation that took place in the afternoon essentially. And then Helena was just like, oh, I think I'm going to need to set another, what did she say? I need to set another boundary in place. At this point, when do I need to say that you need to start having chats? You shouldn't have to say anything for a guy that likes you genuinely. Cool. Next, moving on, Harrison decided to gather every single person around the fire pit, but before he done that, he actually spoke to Harry and Dejon and said he pretty much made up his mind. He sees something long-term with Lauren on the outside, and he's decided that he's going to leave the villa. He ended up speaking to the rest of the villa around the fire pit. Okay, cool. Let me just get into let me just say what I'm going to say and then wrap up this review, yeah? Number one, that speech was long, okay? That speech was long, okay? That's that. Number two, people were started saying, oh, we're so proud of you, we're so this, we're so that, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, proud of what? Like, let's not encourage Harrison's behavior. Harrison's behavior has been absolutely ridiculous. I saw an article, an organization had to even put out a statement regarding women dealing with men like him. Like, literally, like, Harrison acted like an absolute idiot, okay? I don't really call people think is quite a strong word, but he acted like an idiot, and unfortunately for him, his nonsense was broadcasted in 4K, okay? So we all saw it live, okay? But my thing is, like, if you knew Lauren was the girl that you wanted to go for, you should have just got, why did you have to do this confusion, feeling? Like, at the end of the day, you're not the only person involved in this triangle. There's two other girls whose feelings are being hurt, okay? And although I already have my thoughts on Tony and I also have my thoughts on Lauren, the common denominator here is you. So you, generally, you needed to go yesterday, okay? You should have packed your bags and gone yesterday. Realistically, you should have left when your babes Lauren left, okay? Second of all, people started crying and everything, and even someone was just like, go get your girl. I just thought, surely you guys don't think Harrison and Lauren are like making it long term with it. I can't get over the way Lauren begged for this man. I think I need to stop speaking about it, because even after he went to go speak to Tony, and obviously there was crying, he was saying he feels very terrible. He said that obviously, what did he say again? He said he's really sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you like that, blah, blah, blah. And Tony said literally everything that you done showed me that actually I deserve more than you. And yeah, for real, I definitely do deserve more than you. And then she even started, I feel like this is what I mean by saying like the ending, I was about to say the outro and the ending, but the ending of Harrison's departure, it just felt like it was dragging a bit, because I feel like the more they had screen time, the more I was hearing things that I didn't want to hear. Like, I just, no, I'm sorry. And you guys know I'm a very understanding person on this channel. I try my best to be. And you know what? I'm not God. Nobody is above God, meaning it's not I don't know this guy, so I don't need to forgive him, right? And I just feel like, I think the reason why I'm so irritated is because there are so many men like this in this world. And it's not until all the damage is done that they allow common sense to hit them. But you have damaged other people's emotions and hearts in the process. And I think that is disgusting behavior. Like, I'm literally not here for it. Of course, Harrison and I ended up leaving the villa. He said, you know, so excited to go and meet his Lauren. I genuinely don't have any words for the both of them. I know Lauren's going to take him back because she was begging for him to go with her. Jump scare. But I have no words regarding that situation, and I have no words regarding that man. He needed to leave that villa for his own mental health before it continued to deteriorate. Literally. He needed to leave that villa, because if he stayed in that villa, he would have received floggings from people online every single day until the season ended. So you know what, Harrison? It's even good that you've taken yourself away from the situation, okay? God bless, and God bless America. Cool. Now, next, moving on, just before the episode ended, Tony was speaking to Yaz and Shakira, and she said, how many times will I make a man better for somebody else? And Shakira told her that, Tone, I think this is your turning point. And I honestly think it is her turning point as well. I'm glad that her and Cash are back together. And I'll definitely they're going to work on it as the season goes on. I believe anyway. nothing else I want to say. Billy Kiss is still single, and guys, I've accepted that Billy Kiss is just going to be, she's going to be beautifully placed in the Peng Black Girls Hall of Fame for Love Island. And you know what? A win is a win, okay? Because there's 2 weeks to the season finale, and this is where we're at. And week 6 starts on Sunday, okay? But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on today's episode. It was a very, very, very long episode, but a lot to discuss and everything like that. So let me know down below how you also found tonight's episode as well. Please remember that Sunday is a what? Sunday is a live with the vibe, so definitely make sure that you are here on Sunday. Period. I love going on lives on Sundays, literally just the best. So yeah, make sure you're here on Sunday so we can go live and have a good time together. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for your love and your support this week. It's been another phenomenal week of reviews, so phenomenal, and I want to thank you guys so much for your love and for your support. I hope you have a lovely evening and a lovely weekend. Get some rest, girl, okay? Go to the spa, get your hair done, do your eyebrows, do something. But yeah, I love you guys so much. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for your love and for your support. Please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye.